What's that sound? The microwave?
That doesn't sound anything like the microwave. That's definitely the doorbell. You order a pizza?
Why would I order a pizza? We don't eat human food. Who's going to watch the Academy?
No.
We'll keep an eye on stuff.
2 eyes even.
I haven't said this yet, but you don't understand just how much I do not like these characters. I need you to look at these Yevlar and hate them as much as I do. Because not only do they wreck the line continuity even more, they are the dumbest lumps of bricks, the dullest tools in the shed, and I can't even insult them like my heart desires because I'll get demonetized dropping F-bombs all over this kindergartner show. Yeah, it's just a little kids show, but you know what? Complaining is fun, and this show also takes place in the universe of Transformers Prime, so you can just see these two characters and try to imagine them existing beside RC. Just imagine RC stuck with these bozos, just steaming and yelling to get them under control. Okay, so that is Sludge and that is Snarl. They have the classic Dinobot names, but problem, there is already a Sludge and Snarl in the line continuity, and they are badasses. Their story is shown in Fall of Cybertron and in the comics for Transformers Prime. And Sludge and Snarl are the Autobot warriors who were tortured and experimented on by Shockwave. They are intelligent. Sludge is a logistics expert, and Snarl is an analyst. They are calm and rational characters, but also skilled and powerful warriors. But then, these two bumbling, laughing idiots who can barely talk stumble into Rescue Bots Academy, bearing the names Sludge and Snarl. You can only assume that they aren't the same Sludge and Snarl, just as this Grimlock is not supposed to be the badass Shockwave experiment Grimlock either. There are two Grimlocks. This Grimlock is very clearly the Grimlock presented in Robots in Disguise 2015, even though his design is totally different. You just have to ignore the original G1 design with grey and yellow Dinobots, but the show is telling you that's the green Grimlock who is terrified of cats. And you know what, this Grimlock is actually way better than the Robots in Disguise 2015 version. He is smarter and more likable, he's a teacher to the Rescue Bots recruits at the Academy, so they didn't make him stupid for laughs. But Sludge and Snarl are 100% pure stupid for laughs characters. I definitely can't forgive them for their stupidity because they are very inattentive and causing trouble for everyone else. And they never get in trouble for it. They break things and cannot be trusted at all, and you can only imagine they cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in repairs. But everyone is supposed to treat them nice because assuming the worst about them is just mean. If you blame them or don't trust them, you're the bad guy. There was one episode when Hoist thought they trashed the room and Sludge and Snarl were offended while they were in the process of accidentally breaking shit. I mean, Hoist was valid to blame them. Okay, but sure, they are dumb and breaking stuff, but that's not the worst of it. These incompetent dumbasses, spoiler alert, end the show becoming Rescue Bot recruits for the next school year. These two massive Dinobots are now being trusted with fragile human lives when they are far more likely to squash them into gory pancakes underfoot without even noticing. They can't even identify a rescue alarm, and they think it's a microwave or their own stomachs. So do you think they'll hear the cut-off screams of the innocent without saying, "Whoa, that was some weird thunder"? There was one episode where the Dinobots rescued people by complete accident, and they even know it was by accident. They do not have the skills or brain power to handle rescues. Rescue work in real life is extremely calculated, and you have to have situational awareness and understand risks. There's no jumping in without a plan, because if that doesn't kill you, you're going to make things worse for the people you're rescuing. Surely there's a use for strong robots who wouldn't do much else than lift or push stuff, but they're seriously not smart enough. They would probably roll a vehicle and a victim inside would get a spinal injury. They would drop a collapsing roof onto a child and say, "Oops, sorry, I thought you were out already." They would walk onto down power lines. They would back up into a school and smash a classroom. If you don't yet understand how stupid they are, these Dinobots somehow caused a nuclear meltdown when left unattended, and could not figure out how to press a huge labeled button to fix it. They pressed other buttons like idiots and made the problem worse. I don't think you want a rescue worker who button smashes at a nuclear power plant, and who can't even identify an on and off button. They had to be rescued by trained scraplets. Yes, somehow, scraplets are smarter than they are. You can't actually develop a character to fix this. If someone is this dumb, they will always be this dumb. Their peanut-sized brains that are less peanut, more melted peanut butter, aren't getting any bigger. Rescue Bot recruits have to study and write exams, and I guarantee these goons, who can barely speak or read Cybertronian, are going to fail them all. Rescue work is tough. I studied it myself, and you have to memorize a shit ton and be serious. If you don't know your shit, that would mean people dying. Not everyone can do this work, so I don't care for the show tossing old side characters into the academy, because they aren't all suited for it. If you want me to see potential in them, I won't. You know what? Slash, Breastfire, and Laserbeak are too good for Sludge and Snarl, and they're going to be dragged down and frustrated. Those intelligent characters who can actually recognize their surroundings are stuck on the same team as these dino morons. I'm pretty sure all the simulation exercises will be ruined by Sludge and Snarl, and there's a good chance one of them will fall on their teammates and crush them. Yeah, so again, for the love of God, do not let these Sludge and Snarl imposters be trusted with human lives.